You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. Paul, as always, it's great to have you here in the studio.
Hello Daniel, it's great to be back.
So before we start, and obviously the main area we'll be focusing on is the Santa specials, as that's not far off. I was hoping you could just let our listeners know about the railway, sort of a brief introduction in case anybody's not heard of it.
Sure, and we always get asked what steam railway in Sittingbourne, so lots of people haven't heard about it. So the Sittingbourne Kemsley Light Railway used to operate, be operated by Bow Waters, the paper company, to service their paper mills at Sittingbourne, Kemsley and the dock at Riddham. And then in the 1960s they decided to go over to road haulage. So they didn't want to lose the railway, but they also wanted to do the road haulage. So the mainline section between Sittingbourne and Kemsley, they offered for preservation with a lot of the original engines and wagons and coaches. And the railway was set up in 1969 with its first season in 1970 and had loads and loads of people turn up. It was the last narrow gauge steam industrial line in the country. So we were able to sort of take warm engines straight on rather than other railways where they sort of had to start from scratch. They had the line and then had to build the track and then get the trains and everything else. So we were very lucky on that front, and been operating ever since. And the Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway itself was set up in 1972 when the Locomotive Club of Great Britain decided that actually it was a going concern of its own and passed it on for preservation. And now, of course, we're a very popular tourist attraction in Sittingbourne. We operate still between Sittingbourne and Sittingbourne Viaduct and Kemsley Down, and we run pretty much every Sunday between Easter and the end of September, and then we open again in December for Christmas.
So what's happening at the moment, Paul?
So now we're coming to the end of our autumn work weekend programme. We've got our last work weekend this weekend, and then the 3 weekends leading up to Christmas in December we'll be running our Santa specials, and then we've also got some other work going on at the railway. So work's going on the cosmetic restoration of Alpha, which is one of the standard 3 locos that we've got. Hasn't actually operated in preservation yet, and we've had it since 1969. So there's still a long way to go before she is usable, but in the meantime some of our younger members are doing her up ready for a big fundraiser. We've also had the road lowered under Gas Road Bridge. This will help any trucks going through to the council tip, as it used to be known, and probably a refuse recycling centre as it would now be known. It's taken a long time to lower the road, but finally the road has been lowered and opened. Whilst it's been closed, there's been a lot of bridge strikes to the Skew Bridge, which is a little bit closer to Sittingbourne Viaduct Station. So we're going to do some work over the winter and into the spring on just repairing it. Although the bridge is structurally sound, it just looks a bit tatty where it's been bashed by so many trucks.
I'm going to talk a little bit about what a journey's like on the railway.
Sure. So Sittingbourne Viaduct Station is kind of hidden away behind the Sittingbourne Retail Park. So our entrance gate is behind Pizza Hut, but our car park is behind KFC. Some big names there, so you can't miss them. You come through our gate and you walk past the wall, which is also our address. So if you've got a sat nav, you can put in the wall and it will find the wall Sittingbourne and our entrance. As you walk round there, you'll see the beautiful mural we've got, which shows Sittingbourne's industrial past including some of the barges and the paper mill, and all the sites that are long gone, even the old water tower. And then you have to climb up these metal steps to get up onto the top of the embankment, and that's where Sittingbourne Viaduct Station is. And it used to be a transfer sidings for trains going into the paper mill or coming out of the paper mill, because the paper mill used to be just across Mill Way. Nothing exists now of that other than a bit of the link bridge. Obviously it's all now Morrison's and the petrol station, so it's quite difficult to visualise, but that was the transfer sidings up there, and the trains of raw materials and finished paper were sorted out, ready to either go to warehouses or to go to Ridham Dock or into the mill. And then the line actually goes quite steeply uphill onto the first bridge of the viaduct. The viaduct is over 100 years old now, and it's one of the oldest reinforced concrete structures in the UK, and certainly one of the longest narrow gauge railway structures, at about 1 kilometre long. It's got 118 spans and 6 bridges, and every 2 years or so we have to carry out maintenance, and that costs about £20,000 each time. So we've spent well over £150,000 in maintenance costs since the mid-1990s. Then the train passes over the viaduct and through the site of the 2 Milton Regis Asda halts. The first station, which was the correct station, the little small platform, has been so badly vandalised that we can't actually open it anymore. And the other platform is on the wrong side of the railway line, and that was from when the railway was curtailed in the 90s and also in 2010, 2011. Then the railway passes through Milton Creek Country Park. On the left-hand side of the train, as you're heading towards Kemsley, you've got the freshwater marsh towards Milton Regis, and on the right-hand side is the saltwater marsh to Milton Creek. And we've got the Sittingbourne Northern Relief Road going over the top, which is called Swale Way now. And that's a great place to get pictures of the trains, because you can see the trains literally in the platform at Kemsley Down, all the way through to 1 Mile Bend. So you've got about a mile of view of the line, but you have to be careful of the traffic when you cross. And then when you get to Kemsley Down, we are right alongside the paper mill. We're part of the paper mill site, so we're pretty much surrounded by paper mill, and we're like an oasis within the paper mill. It's only because you see the chimneys and occasionally hear a few noises that you actually realise just how close to the paper mill we are. And then we're right on the banks of the creek as well, so if you wanted to walk there, you can walk along the Saxon Shoreway, and we've got a gate straight out onto the Saxon Shoreway.
So what can you expect to see and do once you get to the railway?
Well, not a lot at Sittingbourne, to be fair, because it's been so badly vandalised over the years, and we're waiting for the skate park to be built, because when we start getting some decent fencing along that boundary, and we need power and water. We haven't got anything. We've got very basic facilities at Sittingbourne. But when you get to Kemsley Down, it's completely different. This is our main headquarters for the railway. So we've got a museum, shop, footplate cafe, picnic areas, play areas, museum walk, wildlife area, and the engine shed and the carriage and wagon siding. So there's a lot to see at that end. And the railway's rare in the preservation world, because we've got the original locos and coaches and wagons, and even some of the buildings are Bowalter's Light Railway or from the paper mill. And then if you've got some binoculars, you see some lovely wild birds. We've got, because Elmley Marsh is so close, they often come past to get to the marsh. So there's plenty to see and do when you get to Kemsley Down.
We are at the moment talking to Paul Best from the Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway. to Paul Best from the Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway, and thinking of the Santa specials and trips. How much does it cost?
Okay, so this year, everybody aged over 3 is £13, and all the under 3s are £10. For the first weekend in December, there's £1.50 off the fare. But the trains are booking up fast, so you sort of have to get in there a bit quick. So all of the children, the under 13s, get a present. So when the train arrives at Kemsley Down, Santa will meet the train, and there'll be a procession of people walking across to the Footplate Cafe. In the Footplate Cafe, adults and older children will be able to go and get seasonal refreshments, and in the meantime, the younger kids who want to get a present will queue up to go and see Santa in his grotto. Every year the grotto is different, so if you came last year, it will be a different style in the grotto this year. And then there's a choice of high quality toy in Santa's grotto, so we don't package them up and you just get a generic toy. You actually have a choice from quite a wide selection of toys for the age group. Trains will be running every Saturday and Sunday in December before Christmas, and they leave Sittingbourne Viaduct Station at 11 a.m, 12 p.m, 2 p.m, and 3 p.m. On that front, they take about 2 hours. So if you go out on the 11, you'll be back at Sittingbourne for 1. So that gives you plenty of time to see Santa, have some seasonal refreshments, and still have a look around the site. I understand some of the younger members are going to be running the Garden Railway, and obviously the museum will be open. And I'm sure if you ask nicely, somebody will show you around the engine shed if you want to have a look around the engine shed.
So, well, it seems a long way off looking ahead to next year's season.
It seems like a long way off. Sadly, it's just around the corner. We've delayed the opening of the season. We were hoping to open on Mothering Sunday, which is at the end of March. But because of the work that we'd like to get done to the Skew Bridge near Sittingbourne Viaduct Station, we've actually decided to hold off opening until Good Friday, which is a more traditional time to open anyway. It's just that Good Friday this year is much later in the year. So we'll be reopening on the 14th of April. We have 4 days of steam for that Easter weekend, with an Easter egg hunt on Easter Sunday. Then trains will run every Sunday from 1 till 4 p.m. And then we've got special events such as Jack the Station Cat and Edward Bear weekend on the 30th of April, 1st of May, which is the bank holiday. And then the second bank holiday in May, we're having a Teddy Bears picnic on the Sunday. So on the 28th of May, Teddy Bears picnic. Then the 1st and 2nd of July, we have our Steam and Beer Festival, which is always incredibly popular. Then 19th of August, we're working with the Friends of Milton Creek Country Park with Art in the Park. So we'll have a pop-up station in the park, so you can park, ride and park. You can go to our car park at Sittingbourne and then ride to the park, have a look around the park and then ride back. We have either the engine returning for the August bank holiday on the 28th and 29th of August, and then we have our end of season gala weekend on the 24th and 25th of September, which means that we then come all the way around to Santa Specials again next year. So it's going to be a busy old year, even though we are starting a little bit later.
How else do you spread the word?
So obviously I do interviews like this, which are brilliant. I write loads of press releases, and we go to model railway exhibitions and open days across the south of the country. This last weekend we were at the Shoebury Nest Model Railway Club's South End exhibition, which was absolutely brilliant. And this weekend coming, we're at the Broadstairs Model Railway exhibition at St George's School, Westwood Road in Broadstairs. It's 10 till 5 on Saturday and 10 till 4 on Sunday. If you come along to that and you come and see us at the stand, we will have beer mats to give away, leaflets for next season to give away, and also the all-important Santa special booking form. We also have a timetable leaflet which comes out next year, sort of early in the year, that will be distributed by Take One Media. So in all of those leaflet racks that you see here, there and everywhere, hopefully you'll see our timetable leaflet pop up. And then we do local events. So we've got somebody at the Christmas lights in Sittingbourne this weekend on Saturday. So if we can, we'll try to do the local events as well.
So what do you sort of like most about the railway, Paul?
Well, having been there for more years than I care to think, I just think it's an amazing railway. The fact that it's been given to us by Bow Waters to carry it on with so much pressure, I suppose, in a way. We've got to carry it on and make it as good as we can and get more passengers in. And we've got some fantastic engines, and pretty unique engines as well. And we're like one big friendly family, so it's always good to go down there and have a chat with everyone and see what we're all up to. And certainly at a work weekend, you certainly get a feel for that. And then during the season, when we've got people training as guards or working as station masters and getting a feel for things and how everybody thinks everything's going, it's just really, really good fun.
So, I suppose talking about the railway, can you tell us more about the membership of the railway?
Yeah, so we've got about 200 members worldwide, and about in the 80s, so 80-something active members, which is pretty good. But we understand that you are a volunteer and you don't have to be there, so we try not to overburden you with work if we can. Sometimes we do get a little bit desperate for staff, so we might put out a begging email for somebody to come in and help. We don't have any paid employees at all, and we're all volunteers. The whole railway is run on the money that comes in through fares, through catering and through sales, so we're not externally funded, except maybe for a small project. So Swale Borough Council bought some new tables for the Footplate Cafe, and the Rotary Club provided us with some tables for outside in the gardens, which are brilliant, some picnic tables. But generally speaking, everything comes from the fare box, including the £20,000 a year to sort out the viaduct and carry on with the maintenance. We're not all old fuddy-duddies. I mean, some of us are, obviously, but we're not all old fuddy-duddies. And we have a wide range age group with lots of junior members and younger members. And that's how I started all those years ago. And a really good way to get involved is to come along to a work weekend like this one coming up. So this weekend, 10 o'clock from Sittingbourne Viaduct, we'll have a works train going to Kemsley. At Kemsley, the jobs will be divvied out. Goodness knows what you'll be doing. It depends on the weather. And then about 4 o'clock, the train will come back to Sittingbourne, and everyone's free to go home. There may be lunch provided. We're not sure at the moment for this weekend, so it might be a good idea to bring a packed lunch. But there will be tea and coffee available at Kemsley Down. So that's a good way of getting involved. If you are interested but can't make this weekend, just drop us an email to info@sklr.net and tell us what you're interested in doing. We're particularly looking for people that can help behind the scenes. We're desperate for a finance manager, for a company secretary, for anybody that would like to be a guard or a station master or something like that, ticket inspector, somebody who doesn't mind doing washing up all day and will sit in the refreshment room doing the washing up in the Footplate Cafe. So, we really need help from everybody and anybody. And just get in touch at info@sklr.net.
How do you become a member at the railway?
So we will be able to provide you with a membership form at the work weekend this weekend or on the Santa specials. You can also download them from our website. Membership costs £5 for the younger members, 14 to 17, £20 for adult members, £39 for family membership. Then, if you're feeling a bit extravagant, there's the £400 for individual life membership. So you pay that once and that's you covered for life. And £600 for a life membership for 2 adults living at the same address. There's the fairly new rate of £200 for life membership if you're over 60. And with your membership, you get to travel for free on the railway, and that in turn gives you discounts to steam and beer and to Santa specials. There's the quarterly New Bogey magazine, which has all the latest news from the railway. Generally, there's an article on 40 years ago and somebody's trip to somewhere, usually somewhere I can't pronounce in Europe. And working members get discounts in the Footplate Cafe for refreshments. Membership runs from April to March, so if you were to join now, we're not running that many trains, so this will cover you for the whole of the next year. So this will, if you join sort of between now and April, you'll be covered until the following March.
Before you go, I was hoping you could just do a little run through and refresh our listeners of anything you'd like to let them know about. Okay,
I shall. So Santa specials, as I said, are £13 for everyone over 3, £10 for the under 3s. There's up to £1.50 off tickets booked for the first weekend of December. Although it should be noted that on the first Sunday in December, the 11 o'clock and the 2 o'clock trains are fully booked. We have very strict numbers on how many people can travel on it, and those ones are fully booked. When you get to Kemsley Down, everyone gets either seasonal refreshments or the kids get a present from Santa in his grotto, and you'll be able to choose a high quality toy from Santa's grotto. As I say, the trains run every Saturday and Sunday before Christmas in December, departing Sittingbourne Viaduct Station at 11 a.m, midday, 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. And if you'd like to book a ticket, the Santa Specials booking line is open. It's 01795 428 269. Or you can find out more information on our website. Our website is www.sklr.net. You'll also be able to download the leaflet when it's available. The posters were now updated. There's a weekly update on what's going on at the railway and times going forward. Timetables, events by date, membership information, a virtual tour, and details of the rail sales team are all available on the website. Our talking timetable is on 01795 424 899. If you've got any inquiries, please email us at info@sklr.net. We are on Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/groups/capital S AND capital K capital L capital R. We're on Twitter as at capital S lowercase AND capital K capital L capital R. We have a podcast which I'm about to bring into life again early next year. But we've got a YouTube channel which is www.youtube.com/Stop'em, which is STOPEM. We've got an app in the Apple App Store, and we're also on the Heritage Railways app. Although that's not completely commissioned yet, but you can get a sneak peek if you download that. And I think that's everything.
Well, Paul, as always, thank you very much for coming along. It's always appreciated, and it's always good to hear about the railway, and it's always nice to hear about the Santa specials as well.
It's always great to come here, so thanks very much.
That is Paul Best and the Sittingbourne Kemsley Light Railway right here at the Monday Night Community Show.